I am Dayu. 4 years ago, on the day after our wedding, he clasped Tu Shangshi's hand and bid her farewell. Once the floods are tamed, I will return to enjoy the mountains and rivers with you. But now that my father Gun has been executed at Feather Mountain for failing to control the waters by blocking them, and the Emperor Shan has entrusted me with the monumental task of flood control, I gaze upon the corpses floating everywhere, tightly clenching my fire tools. I vow, this time, I will make the flood submit. My father spent 9 years trying to dam the waters, only to see the floods fight back like a cornered beast. I traveled across the 9 regions, holding my left hand and ruling my right, until I finally understood. To tame the waters, one must learn the way of heaven and earth. At Dragon Gate Mountain, I swung my axe to split the cliffs, freeing the Yellow River like a wild dragon returning to the sea. Along the Huai River, I dug 9 tributaries to channel the flood waters into the vast ocean. During those endless days and nights soaked in muddy waters, the hair on my legs wore off completely. Yet whenever I saw villagers carrying torches following my trail, or heard babies crying in makeshift thatched huts, I told myself, I must press on. Some asked why I passed my home thrice without entering. The first time, my wife's labor cries pierced through the curtain of rain. Yet I could only clutch my silk straw raincoat outside the bamboo fence. The second time, my son Qi waved his little hand from her arms. When I steeled my heart to turn away, my nails dug into my palms. The third time, Qi had grown into a boy. He chased me half a mile down the road. I touched his head and said, when the floods recede, I'll show you fertile lands across the 9 regions. That wait lasted 13 years. When the last levee closed, the murky river finally flowed meekly eastward. I stood atop Dayu Mountain, watching submerged hills emerge verdant once more, and barren plains transform into endless fertile fields. Villagers knelt before me with freshly harvested rice in their hands. Some built a temple by the river in Mayona, others wove my deeds into folk songs. Yet I knew this victory was not mine alone. The workers who shared my meals and labor, the elderly cooking congee in the rear, the children stealing measuring rods in torrential rains, they were the true spine that conquered the flood. Now that the 9 regions are settled, I often dream of my father. If his spirit beneath the springs could know, perhaps he will understand what must be channeled rather than dammed. It's not the flood waters, but the human heart. In these 13 years of taming rivers, I owe my family more than I can repay, yet I harbor no regrets. For when descendants stand upon the Yellow River's banks, they will see no longer a beast devouring lives, but a life-giving mother river nourishing all things. This is the purpose of my existence. I, Dayu, for the sake of this river becoming a cradle of life.